coming up on LA This Week.
I really like the community feeling and the sense of a marketplace where you interact with people.
I told my boss at Krause Jr. that I needed to quarantine. They had the nerve to tell me I should come in if I wasn't experiencing symptoms. This is a problem.
We decided to come this morning to get tested for COVID as a family because we want to protect our elders.
Hello everyone, I'm Rasha Goel. Here's what's happening in LA this week. In June of this year, Mayor Eric Garcetti appointed the new Chief Executive Officer for Los Angeles World Airports. Justin Urbachi has been a member of the Lawa family since 2016. And as Maria Hall Brown reports, Mr. Urbachi sees running LAX as a lofty privilege.
Los Angeles World Airports, or LAWA, functions as the governing body for LAX, the third busiest airport in the world last year with over 88 million passengers. I am joined by its new CEO, Justin Urbachi. Nice to have you with me.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Obviously, things took a huge nosedive when the pandemic hit, to the tune of like 95% down. It is ticking back up. So what is that telling you? Is that telling you that people are feeling more secure, or that these precautions that are being put in place are working?
Yeah, I think that it's a combination, but you know, it tracks very closely with the safer at home orders and the relaxation of some of those safer at home orders. For much of April and May, we were in the 95% range on a regular basis. But as the safer at home restrictions eased and businesses starting open and people started feeling more comfortable going out and doing things, we saw a gradual increase and a positive increase in the number of passengers that were flying. But then as we saw the resurgence of COVID cases across the country, across the globe, it started to flatten out. So we're still hovering at around, you know, between 78% reduction in traffic right now.
What could really knock it back? What are you worried about? Because there are sincere concerns.
You know, the biggest worry for me has been since the very beginning, continues to be, is making sure that our employees and our passengers are as safe, as healthy as possible.
Have any of the plans had to change because of the safety measures put into place?
Absolutely. We've made significant innovations and changes in those areas. From the very beginning, we really beefed up our sanitation efforts. And of late, we're using innovative technologies to try to help us even more. From passenger processing to the way we do parking, you know, to the way we check temperatures now. And the fact that I was already here thinking innovatively and trying to get the rest of the organization to think innovatively really helps us right now, because we're used to doing that. We're used to looking at every situation and see how can we do this different and better.
Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I wish you a world of luck and congratulations on your new position.
Well, thank you very much. A pleasure being here today. Thank you for taking the time.
Justin Urbachi is one in a handful of appointees taking on vital roles during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, if you think running one of the world's largest airports is daunting, just wait. Later in the program, we will introduce you to the person newly tasked with managing all of LA City's infrastructure. Los Angeles continues to be a national leader in a number of industries and innovations. In fact, for 3 years running, Los Angeles is leading in the sector of solar. Check this out.
We're really excited to again be recognized by Environment America's Shining Cities Report, third year in a row, and we've reached nearly 500 megawatts of installed solar as of last year. It's really reflective of a decades-long investment that the City of LA and LADEP and our customers have jointly made in really bringing solar to the City of LA and helping us get to our carbon neutral goals. We've got 50,000 customers at Epcot Solar. If I'm a single-family homeowner and I want to go solar, what do? Our net metering program is available. If you want to purchase a solar system and help reduce your bill, you can do that. But if you can't afford to make that investment in solar and you're a single-family homeowner, we will actually partner with you. LADEP can install a solar system on your home, and we'll actually provide you a monthly check for partnering with us on that solar program. And that's called our Solar Rooftops program. And information on that program is also available on ladep.com/solar.
Comedian Tiffany Haddish teamed up with Councilmember Herb Wesson to hand out computers and groceries to low-income families in Council District 10. As Haddish explains, giveaways like this hold a special place in her heart. Take a look.
Is challenging for everybody. But for kids that are in the foster care system, it's even more challenging. And I think we have a responsibility to do our best to supply them with tools that hopefully put them in a place so that when they get older, they'll be in a better position to take care of their family.
To me, it's very important to support foster youth. I remember being one myself and wishing somebody would have gave me a laptop or a computer or something, even a class on how to use one. And but I got to go to the library and I learned there. But it's such an honor to be able to do this and a privilege, I feel like, to be able to supply these kids with tools to better themselves, to be successful. I just want to see our community grow and be prosperous.
Gives them the ability to do the homeschooling, do the COVID-19, gives them the ability to do the work that's necessary, look up things, do extra work. And then also as a father, it helps me because now I don't have to worry about the added expense.
To me, it is so important to be able to supply these children with the tools that they need to be successful. Already they're set back, they're already at a disadvantage, right? And to give them a tool to step forward, give them a little push in the game, is really good.
Gracias a la ayuda de que están ayudando, estamos aquí por el apoyo para los niños que hoy están necesitados para, más que nada por la pandemia.
We could really put our children in a position to succeed. It's our responsibility to give them the tools, and this is us doing our part. Thanks for coming out.
For months now, we have seen local businesses adapting their primary operations to better contribute to the needs of SoCal residents in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the auto retail industry is no exception. We visited Galpin Ford in Van Nuys, where compliance to public health guidelines means customer safety for all.
Galpin Ford has been a staple in the San Fernando Valley and greater Los Angeles area for over 70 years. We were established in 1946. We were owned and operated by the Bachman family, so we have that great family feel.
Galpin Ford's always been the innovator when it comes to retailing cars and selling cars for the last 50+ years. And I think in the way that we are treating this pandemic and the way that we're protecting our customers and our employees is no different. And I think Galpin Ford has led the charge in ensuring that everybody's safety.
Well, we have a multi-step process, first and foremost, to keep our employees and customers safe and actually give them the optics where they see it happening in front of them so they have reassurance that we're doing all we can do during these uncertain times.
I had read online what they were doing, and I had to come over and have my car serviced, and that's when I first sort of saw all the procedures, which I felt very safe about. I mean, they greet you properly, and they took my car. When it was returned, it was completely disinfected. The steering wheel was covered. They really took the time to do that, so I felt pretty safe about it.
Fortunately, We've been working on new ways of doing business to make it easier for customers well before this. And frankly, this pandemic has expedited the need and the realities of those types of things. So for example, home delivery and buying a car online and having it delivered to your home. You know, we had been doing that prior to this. There's been a lot more of it happening now because of this. But it's forced us to do things a different way, a lot quicker. Not to mention all the safety steps and measures that we've taken and put in place to ensure the safety of our customers and our employees.
This goes beyond competitiveness and you know, being the better dealer and who can sell more cars. This is about human safety. So we know that what we're doing works, and I would hope everybody else would follow suit.
Many of LA City's annual events have been shelved due to COVID-19, including all large public gatherings. But that's not stopping the mayor's office. Together with the LA Grid office and Recreation and Parks, Summer Night Lights is alive and well and bringing the summer fun, though it might look a little different this year.
Summer Night Lights is a program that the mayor's office does at 32 parks during the year. The mayor decided that during the hot button months, which is the most dangerous months of the year, in the most dangerous communities, they decided to have a program that allowed the community to come out and enjoy their local parks.
Typically on a regular SNL night, we would have had here at Harvard Park over 200 people enjoying freshly cooked food. We would have had activities, tables, people would just come out and hang out. Unfortunately now, this year 2020, we've had to pivot to comply with public health orders around COVID-19 and the pandemic. So we're servicing around 20 sites throughout the city and doing pop-up events where we are doing grab-and-go meals plus activities that families can enjoy at home.
My friends told me to come by, stop by and bring the kids out for a little while. They're giving food and a few other items.
Every family gets 4 meals, every family gets a box of fruits and vegetables, and every family gets a bag of dry goods.
It means a lot because I really like this park, and I always bring my kids here to play, and I really like this park.
They can check out the Mayor's Grid office website, lagrid.org, and click on the Summer Night Lights link.
You should come out. You should. It's a very nice place, great food. It's a great place for kids to be at.
I think it's great that the city's putting together, the parks are putting together. Just feel like our tax dollars are actively working.
We're giving them something healthy to let them know that we're still here and we still support you. The program is still here supporting the community.
Metro introduces reduced fares. A Boyle Heights clinic gets an LA 2050 grant, and a virtual forum focuses on minority business owners. These stories and more up next on City Beat.
Former coach of the Los Angeles Sparks, Julie Rousseau, will chair the USC Athletic Department's Black Lives Matter Action Team to take on social inequality. Rousseau, who currently serves as adjunct professor in USC's Gender and Sexual Studies Department, will oversee the efforts and address social injustices experienced by Black student athletes. This newly formed action team will be joined by an advisory committee that will support Rousseau's work by providing ideas and feedback as representatives for the broader athletics program. The California Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurmond, and members of the Closing the Digital Divide Task Force recently hosted a webinar to teach school leaders more on how they can acquire computer software for students due to the remote learning in the fall. The Closing the Digital Divide Task Force was created and will help facilitate donations, create more publicity, and cast a bigger spotlight on those who can help. Whether or not a student has access to computers and the internet can also affect whether or not they are able to research colleges or apply for financial aid and jobs. February and April 2020, 41% of Black-owned businesses, 32% of Latino-owned businesses, and 26% of Asian American-owned businesses closed either temporarily or permanently, while 17% of white-owned businesses closed. In response to this report, a virtual panel discussion hosted by the Milken Institute discussed how minority-owned businesses can withstand the pandemic. The conversation covered capital access for businesses owned by Black, Latino, and Asian American community members. The discussion was moderated by Eugene Cornelius, Milken Institute Senior Director, Center for Regional Economics. The health clinic Clínica Romero has won a $100,000 grant to better help patients during the pandemic. The clinic won the money in the LA 2050 Grants Challenge, and with locations in Boyle Heights and Pico Union Westlake, the clinic serves the community in some of the hardest hit areas of Los Angeles.
For months, we have been dealing with a global pandemic. For many of us, the shock has subsided, and taking precautions has become secondhand nature. Things have actually become manageable. So it's easy to forget the folks who are still on the front lines of this fight to keep us safe, healthy, and fed. Recently, Councilmember Kern Price delivered a thank you to 3 local grocery stores, assuring them that we have not forgotten and truly do appreciate them.
Today's really important because we wanted to honor the frontline grocery store workers who have been putting themselves at risk since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. And we really wanted to show our appreciation for them showing up to work every day and making sure that people in our neighborhood in South Los Angeles have access to fresh fruits and vegetables and groceries even during this pandemic. So today we're here on the corner of Slauson and Vermont at Superior to provide them with a little token of appreciation.
Right now it's scary to come to work, but at the same time, we're helping out the community, you know, helping out the customers, what they need, you know, because what's going on right now, it's scary for everyone.
We're providing them with lunch, bags, which will include hand sanitizers, face masks, and a number of other items to keep them safe.
It makes us feel appreciated, makes us feel great, you know, that we're out here for a good cause, serving our community, making sure, you know, we have everything they need. We're taking extra precautions for all our customers. You know, we have protocols in place. All our employees take extra precautions to assure that the safety of our customers comes first.
People are encouraged to go to their grocery stores, support their grocery stores, because these are grocery stores that are in our neighborhood and they need our support just like we need them.
From South Los Angeles to the San Fernando Valley, team members from the Office of Council President Nuri Martinez were out in full force. Their mission? To spread cool summer fun to the families of CD6. Take a look.
We're here today in Van Nuys at the Mid-Valley Family YMCA. Council President Martinez thought we really need to have an event where we're giving kids some things to do during the summer, some waterworks stuff, you know, to get wet, and sprinklers and water balloons and even fans. So really trying to give some summer relief to the entire family in Council District 6.
I'm here to get toys for my siblings. They're bored at home, and with all this COVID, you know, situation, they're just struggling, bored at home, so I wanted to get them a few toys.
It's going to keep the kids busy with the activities since they're not in school or they can't go anywhere to visit family and friends. So,
as someone who grew up in a working poor family, she knows very well sort of the limitations and of resources that a lot of these families have.
It helps parents that can't afford or the time to get out to get their children anything.
I think it's awesome because some people don't have the resources to get toys or food for their children. I think these events are amazing.
Anytime you can take something else off their plate, that's another expense they don't have to pay for.
Nuri Martinez is doing this for our community. I think that's just, we feel very blessed to have things like this.
There's no government response like local government response. They can get in touch with our office at 213-437-7006 or go to nuri-martinez.com.
To know that there's people out there that care. It's very nice. It's a very nice thing.
It's been 14 years, and even with the pandemic lurking, the Mar Vista Farmers Market shows no signs of slowing down when it comes to bringing fresh produce to its community.
Hello, and welcome to the 14th annual Mar Vista Farmers Market Palooza.
This year the celebration is a lot more subdued than usual, but this year, because of COVID, we've decided we have to celebrate safely and appropriately, and it's a little more subdued around here than usual, so we're all trying to shoo away the virus and celebrate and have a good time at the same time.
Mar Vista's always had one of the best farmers markets, so coming here, I think they're doing a great job with keeping everybody apart, and I think for everyone's overall health, I think it's a great thing to do, and I feel safe.
We have a lot more staff than usual because of all the COVID regulations and necessary safety precautions. So as you can see, rather than have people just arrive at the market en masse, they have to filter through our system. We operate with a strict head count. We're also keeping an eye on various areas of the market to make sure that we're not over capacity.
Since COVID hit, it's just become more important to me to have good vegetables, you know, like really clean vegetables and a diversity of fruits and vegetables, because that helps build your immunity. I feel safer shopping outdoors where there's air blowing than going to a crowded supermarket inside.
But it's pretty significant. Instead of just a rolling wave of people entering the market from various points, everybody has to come through one channel. This market was way ahead of the curve that was mandated when there were some other markets that really weren't being operated to the best of the ability to stay ahead of COVID. We had a plan from day one and kept refining that plan along with information that we get from the mayor's office or LA County Board of Health.
The LA Department of Public Works is responsible for the design, construction, renovation, and operation of public projects running from bridges to libraries and from sewers to streetlights. And there is a brand new board president ready to take on all the numerous challenges that come with the role. Maria Hall Brown was able to have a nice chat with the very busy board president, Greg Good.
You have taken over this role in the middle of an international crisis of magnitude that nobody can predict. How are you going to do this?
Angelenos rightfully expect that we take care of business, right? Again, that the trees are getting trimmed, that the trash is getting picked up, that potholes are being fixed. And we will do that, and I'm fully committed to that, and Kevin was exemplary in making sure those things happen.
You mentioned Kevin James. He was in the role for 7 years. He's seen a lot of changes. He's incorporated a lot of strategies. You know, has it been a good handoff? Did he hand the baton well, and what does he tell you?
The transition's been fantastic. Kevin created enormous shoes to fill. He was a great president of the Board of Public Works. The mayor, me, every Angeleno should be very grateful for the service he provided. I believe in over-communication. Kevin James believes in the same, and I will rely heavily on him, and hopefully he'll rely on me with his new work too.
How do you envision things? How do you want it to see? You just said you want an equitable city that is, you know, obviously sustainable and has, you know, a forward-thinking approach. How do you see it?
So much of what Public Works does, if it happens and is executed well, should fly under the radar screen. Ideally, we don't need to be thinking about the trash getting picked up. We don't need to be thinking about whether the street light is a high voltage light that needs to be converted to an LED light. Ideally, we don't have to know those things, and they just happen the way they should. So that's the city that I hope the Department of Public Works will continue to contribute to.
And lots of trees.
And lots of trees. Very excited about that. And trees in places where heretofore there has been very limited canopy. There's a real, you know, imbalance in terms of where you have dense tree canopy, and trees are superheroes. You know, they create shade, they keep places cool and they capture carbon. And so, frontline communities that have been, victims of environmental injustice over the years need to have as many trees as other communities. And so, yes, we're working on that too.
So it'd be good for people to, to hear about things that are happening in their own community.
Absolutely. We're an open door, and certainly on that sort of those basic things that happen to us every day, including reporting potholes, et cetera, go to MyLA 311, and we are on it.
When COVID-19 first hit, it seemed to be a disease that struck the elderly and people who were immunocompromised. We now know that anyone can carry or contract COVID-19. Here's a story about one SoCal family that's not taking any chances. For them, it's a no-brainer. Everyone gets tested.
Today, the council member's office partnered up with the mayor's office, the fire department, and HACLA to provide free on-site testing for COVID-19. In talking with the fire department, they say that this site has been one of the busiest ones as of yet.
We decided to come this morning to get tested for COVID as a family because we want to protect our elders. We want to protect my mom, my dad. My husband also has his mom and his dad, and we want to make sure that we protect them.
We all thought it was important. We all thought that it was better to do it now. Take the time to do it, like my wife said, so that we can keep ourselves safe and then keep others safe as well.
I kind of was a little scared because I thought we were going to do the swabs that they usually do through the nose, but through the mouth I felt a little more comfortable doing it. And also it wasn't really scary, so if anyone else were to get tested, I would say this kind of experience, it isn't traumatizing, and I recommend doing this type of testing.
We might be in a good health situation, but we're protecting others.
I would highly recommend it because it is for your own safety and the people around you.
San Fernando Valley Drive-In Movies return. Cruise and Takeout Bob's revs up great eats, and Eagle Rock brings school supplies to a drive-thru. All this next on Things to Do.
Every Friday in Northridge since 2009, Cruise and Takeout Bob's has been the local cruise night for hot rodders and classic car enthusiasts. But with the recent stay-at-home orders for our state, business for Bob's has slowed, and the start to cruise season was delayed. Now that self-quarantine laws are relaxing, we can begin cruising. Bob's is now open for carry-out orders and even car hop service. So bring out your hot rod, be it a classic cruiser or modern muscle. Enjoy the warmer weather and join others in our local community Fridays for Bob's Menu. Cruise and Takeout Bob's happens every Friday beginning at 4 p.m. 8876 Corbin Avenue in Northridge. For details, check out their listing on Facebook events. Over the last 3 years, My Valley Pass has had the great pleasure of bringing together movie fans from all over LA to the Lake Balboa complex in the San Fernando Valley for a spectacular drive-in movie experience. This August, My Valley Pass is moving its signature San Fernando Valley summer drive-in nights to the Westfield Fashion Square Mall in Sherman Oaks. Don't miss this chance to have a night out at the movies, totally socially distanced in your own vehicle. Family films to be screened include The Sandlot, Grease, Jurassic Park, and La Bamba. San Fernando Valley Drive-In happens at the Westfield Fashion Square, 14006 Riverside Drive. For more information, visit tickets.myvalleypass.com. Eagle Rock families are invited to pick up free school supplies for your children at the Get Ready for School Supply Drive. Eagle Rock Baptist Church is hosting a school supply drive-thru on Saturday, August 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Eagle Rock Baptist Church parking lot. We're giving away free school supplies for students of all stripes. For those with supplies to spare, you are also encouraged to donate by Thursday, August 13th. You can find a list of donation items on their Facebook event listing. For more details about the Get Ready for School Supply Drive, visit eaglerockbaptist.com. And that's a look at some things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Rasha Goal. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. And a reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.